Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. This is our pre-show to No Surrender. As we advertise, Ashley will be with us shortly. So my intro doesn't make sense, but I'm going to say it anyways. They are the Triple XL and Tennille to my Caleb with the K. It's Craig and Max, everyone, and Ashley somewhere.
Ashley eventually.
Ashley,
At some point, she'll join us.
All right, so guys, we're going to do a little bit of format. Thank you for joining us. We'd like to get this chat off and popping and definitely take feedback and interactions from you guys. So invite whoever you can. Let's make this fun. Not about views, but about interaction. Let's have a good time and get ready for No Surrender. I don't know if we should stall and wait for her, or do you want to just go right into the matches?
I say we start with some of the lower card stuff, and then when she gets here, she can jump right into the stuff that everybody cares about.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll try to keep the bantering and to a minimum. We got 45 minutes. We'll try to get you guys set up right before No Surrender. So let's get right into it. This one was what we were talking about in the chat room there. Diener versus Jake something. So what's our thoughts? We'll start with Max, and I'm gonna have Craig send her the link. She just wrote in the other chat room. There you go. I'll do it. Actually, I got it.
So, do you want me to start with who I think is going to win, or,
yeah, just like we normally do. What do you think about Diener and Jake something? What do you think about it? Who do you think is going to take it? How are you? We talked about on the real show about Jake becoming maybe part of them or Jake something, and they did Jake something against what we wished.
I like his last name. I think there's just something about him that screams, something. I think it could be interesting. I think there's a possibility here that if he joins them, it's one of those like beat down, drag him to the back things to where and then he comes out and joins them. I think that's a possibility. Or it's one of those matches where he wins and then it's kind of like the three of them kind of extending a hand, like, hey, join us type thing. Like, hey, you just got, you earned our respect. I think him joining, I don't remember what my option was a little before, but I think him joining might be a good idea if it's done well, if it's done with like a, hey, you survived the beating, now we want to offer you a spot on our team. I think that would be an interesting way to get him in there. So I'm going to go with Jake something picking up the win, but if he doesn't, I think it'll be an Eric Young interference. But I'm going to go with Jake something picks up the win, and then they offer him a spot to join him. Okay,
I like that, Craig. What do you got, bud?
Well,
how are you feeling about Jake something?
First, when to answer that question, when Jake said, "I'm Jake something," I popped. I was so happy. It's finally. I've wanted to see Jake something on Impact for a long time. As cousin Jake, he just was missing something that Jake something had on the Indies. He started to show it the Rebellion last year, and because he was just, for me during the whole beginning of the COVID era, he was a standout because he put on great matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to see him join Violent by Design. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even a setup to get him somewhere else. Okay, now I'm going to be honest. I'm not too familiar with his lack of gimmick or full gimmick outside of this. What was Jake something? What do you think that can do in Impact?
Impact right now have some of the biggest big men in wrestling. Jake something is being left out of that list for a while, but now he can be as Jake something, he'll be put back on that list as one of the best big men in Impact. He's that good. But as a tag team, he just wasn't enough momentum behind it. As Jake something, he can get that momentum because he's I believe he's the AAW Heritage Champion in Chicago, I believe. But yeah, I can't wait to see That's why I'm going Jake something, because he's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool to hear. Speaking of can't wait to see, Ashley is somewhere here. Max, if you could put her on there, bud.
So I can add
And I've just seen her background.
Oh, you are? I can't see anything.
Just seen Ashley's background.
I see blue.
This may be her. Hold on. Oh, there she is. Oh my God, she got half naked dudes behind her. That's okay. We're about to get banned.
Talking about this is Winnipeg right here. This is Winnipeg. I mean, this is our EVP.
That's Peg something.
I was about to say, there's about to be some pegging going down, but
Canada.
I'm gonna have to watch our.
How's my audio?
Audio's good.
Yeah, everything's clear. Good to see you. Good to see your face. Good to see your face.
This right here is our EVP.
Yes, he is. The sexier of the two, I think. All right, Ashley, to catch you up. We're talking about Jake's transformation and what we expect to see from him tonight. And just going through the matches before 7:59 hits.
All right. Well. Let's see what match you're on right now.
Jake something versus Diener.
Okay. I mean, I'm really going for Jake something. To be honest with you, I hope Jake it's a good solo run.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I want. But I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go the opposite way. To be honest with you.
Yeah. There's too many. I think that's the general consensus. People. Max, do you see the echo chance there?
Oh, hold on.
You have one job.
I
think the general consensus is that Jake something could be something much bigger, no pun intended, than what he was doing there. I just think I preferred him joining to then eventually be the star that breaks away. But we'll see what they got on the plate. But it's going to be rough for 3-on-1 unless someone did. Speaking of that, I actually want to go on to that next when it comes to not 3-on-1, but handicap match here, because I have an idea. So we have the cruiserweight, Jesus Lord, the ex-cruiserweight champion, and now the X Division champion, TJP, and he's defending it against Rohit, who was the previous champion, who I think we all love as well. And he's with Shira this time. We won't touch on Shira as we did last week.
I thought we had some hot takes on Shira last week.
We had some hot something. And I want to know, one, the reason
this background's too much for y'all. I know it is. I knew it was too much for the show.
I mean, true. I'm more concerned about us getting banned from Twitch.
We're not going to get
Look, we don't get banned from Twitch.
I mean,
okay?
RVD got Impact banned from Twitch. You think half-naked Kenny Omega and half-naked Don Callis are going to get us banned from Twitch?
Max, are you booty clapping?
On pro wrestling tees.
Oh man!
All right, never know.
Shirt. This is Manitoba. This is what Winnipeg's about. This is Canada.
Grown men on horses with no shirt. But yeah, the reason I bring up
in the winter.
This is the reason I bring up the X Division match. Obviously, Shira's behind Rohit. So the general consensus, just kind of like the Jake something match, would be that the numbers will catch up to TJP. But I don't see it that way. My personal opinion, I think there's going to be something. Maybe. Do we think? Let's reword it like this. Do we think Fallah Bahh has anything to do with this match, or do you think TJP's on an island all by himself now?
My opinion.
Yeah,
I honestly think TJ's on his own, and I think Rohit's going to take it because he's got the advantage, and he always has the advantage, as you know.
True. When you have no tact, you do whatever you need to do to win. So, Craig, what do you think?
TJ can always. Oh, Craig, sorry, my bad.
I mean, I'm pretty much the same as Ashley. I think I'd like to see Rohit win it back, but the X Division title has been hot-shotted around a bit too much. I think stick with TJP for a little longer at least till Slammiversary. See how it goes from there. But I can't see Shira play much of a factor. I think TJP will take him out early, or someone will. But TJP retain.
Okay.
I mean, TJ can always call on his friend Manic, right? I mean, can always bring him out, right?
Yeah, that's gonna happen, but
you never know. But no, I think I don't have a problem if the title does switch over. G, you and I have talked about before that the X Division is one of those titles that can flip-flop incredibly quickly because it basically just shows you have to be on your A game or else you're gonna lose it. I think in this case though, I think TJ overcomes the odds. I think he wins it. I think he retains the title. I think that kind of sets him up into a good situation for the winner of the Revolver to end up beating him. But I think he ends up holding it because I can't see them giving it to Rahit and then Rahit dropping it to the winner of the Revolver.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and I agree with you there. That's the last thing I was going to mention before we transition to the Revolver match. We've talked about it endlessly on how to revitalize the X Division. Is it bringing new people in? Is it developing what we already have? Is it bringing some names down that aren't there ready for the World Heavyweight title yet? And I think they've done a mix of that, and they've done a great job in a short span of time. And I want to give a huge credit to Josh Alexander, who legitimately brings the status up of that division to me, because that's a different tool player when it comes to that style of wrestling. And I agree completely, Max. I think the way to make the X Division title relevant again is to hotshot it, because you have to stay on your game 24/7. It's a young man's game, and you go out there and defend it each night is hopefully where we're headed with this. But somehow, some way, I think TJP retains. I don't know if it's a Fala help there. I think they're just on to Ashley's credit, on just two different paths. But I don't know what it can be. So let's switch up to the X Division Revolver. I want to get Craig, let's get your opinion on this first, as far as I know how you are with gimmick matches. How do you feel about this kind of match? Do you think it's revolutionary or interesting to you? Lay it on me.
I'm excited about it. I think it's a classic TNA match with kind of confusing stipulation.
Really?
But you have to, well, not confusing, but you have to read it over and over again to make sure it's sunk in. So at least a double take, make sure it's sunk in the rules. But I mean, it's a good match, especially as they can't really have an Ultimate X or a Lockdown or a King of the Mountain match because of I think the Scary Studios' ceiling's too low for that type of match.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have this type of thing. I also think Josh Alexander in this match will be the Iron Man. He'll start at number one and live up to the walking weapon moniker and come out with a win. Josh Alexander for the win.
Yeah, I like that. Ashley, where are you at with this?
I'm going to go with either. It's definitely not going to be Blake Christensen based off of what we found out. Daivari is a filler. Let's call it what it is. As much as I like Daivari, Ace Austin has the cup. It's going to go to either Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, or Josh Alexander, because everyone else is just pretty much a filler.
Right, I understand. One thing I will mention before I kick it to Max real quick, the only thing about Daivari, and I would agree with you completely in everything you just said, I think it does go down to those three at the end of the day. But as far as Daivari goes, I would say he's a filler, if not for the MLW kind of tease of Leo Rush and TJP and traveling with that belt, the belts, excuse me. So maybe Daivari is a contra factor in here. Maybe something comes and helps him.
Geoff,
but most likely
this is Impact, not MLW.
I'm saying the doors are open for everybody.
Yeah, but we're talking about tonight at No Surrender. We'll go over Daivari and MLW later on.
I'm just saying, wonder if he helps. Wonder if they help. There were a lot of people at this taping. Remember, this is taped, so nothing of this leaked. No one knows who's backstage because this is, a week ago? Or no, a week ago. I get what you're saying, and it's just something we talked about in the chat room, and it'd be interesting to see how far this...
I don't read the chat room.
Oh, well, thanks.
I read it when it applies to me.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't either.
Max, you're half...
Well, it depends. Which chat room are we talking about?
The TNAIW.
All of them.
Okay, because there's one that I just don't read because there's too many people.
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Hey, Mike, you're right on the Daivari thing. He's got I'm guessing a lot of back knee tonight is what I'm going to say. All right, Max, wrap it up, bud.
I actually like this concept. It's very similar to like a normal gauntlet, but it adds the third person. I don't think it's going to be hard to pull off. I think it's going to, like, I know someone said it's going to be hard to pull off. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just going to add a different element into that gauntlet. So I don't think it's going to be something that's going to come off as crazy or wild. I do agree that I think it's going to come down to either Chris Bay, Josh Alexander, or Trey. But hear me out on this conspiracy theory. Suicide wins it. And after he wins it, he pulls off his mask, and it's Christopher Daniels. And it's just all part of the AEW invasion.
That ass is unmistakable.
I'm going to tell you, what I have written here is that I think in my fantasy booking that Suicide wins because one, Caleb's not in that match later, so we know it's Caleb. I think that's the way it goes. But if Suicide wins, I would say because Chris Sabin already dropped the little hints and planted those seeds in an interview recently on Impact, where he was saying that I still think it is Daniels as far as Suicide. So
I'm telling you, when he hits a BME, just remember I called Daniels as Suicide, just like I called the Good Brothers coming to Impact and the Bullet Club coming in. I'm basically like. I'm basically like Impact Rain Man or something, I just.
Yeah, it's going to his head already. So yeah, but
it was a given. It wasn't a call. Everyone knew.
Yeah.
Everyone in press knew. Yeah. Meaning me and Craig.
Hey, I called. What's it called? I called the Good Brothers to Impact like right when they left WWE. So.
Okay, I'm gonna call who got released. What's Deanna's boyfriend name?
I don't know.
The guy that just got released for COVID. He's coming too. I'm just gonna name everybody. Whoever comes, I look right.
I'm not Stephen A. Smith throwing out hot takes, hoping one will come. Like,
I think you're throwing spaghetti at a wall. That's what's going on. But the X Division Revolver, just to end that real quick, that match I think is really fun. Where it comes between hokey and being pulled off correctly. I really hope that all of the rest of the participants are backstage and they get an intro when someone's eliminated. The only reason I say that is if I see a bunch of wrestlers around the ring and they enter, it's going to remind me of the reverse battle royal. And I don't know if I want that, I don't know, that kind of hindrance for me to enjoy it, to wait, like, oh, this is exactly like it, because I still have nightmares about that.
No, I want full entrances, like Royal Rumble entrances, but that I agree with.
I agree. All right, so let's keep going, because we kind of mentioned the whole Caleb with a K, and it's a simple transition. So let's go to Triple XL and Tennille versus the new Decay. Some have said it's an upgrade, even though I love Abyss with Black Toros. So who hasn't started? Max, you start, bud. What's your opinion?
Well, I will say, if we would have gotten like old Abyss in Decay, I think that would have been awesome. But we didn't. We got new Abyss. So I do think Black Taurus is an upgrade, at least from where Abyss was at the end of his Impact run.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's a good look there. I like the Crazy Steve. I like the Rosemary. I still would like to see a fourth member come in there and then them have like a singles, a knockout, and a tag team to kind of make themselves a full stable. I don't know, who, but I obviously they're winning this match. I mean,
Decay.
Yeah, Tennille's basically the Brooklyn Brawler of the Knockouts division. She's got herself a good gimmick, but
that 2-year deal, man. Steve Cutler, thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Tennille and Triple XL are winning it. You may see some Caleb with a K interference, but I don't think that to me is the only reason why, like, realistically you wouldn't put him in the match is if he's going to interfere in it, and just kind of do.
Let's just call it what Max says. Caleb with the K's in every match. Every match he interferes in every match.
I mean, hey, sometimes you just
he's suicide too.
He's everybody.
He's everybody. So yeah, Caleb with the K is he can just be anyone.
Ashley, why don't you take it from there? Could he be Rosemary? Is that where?
Yeah, he could be Rosemary too. I mean, he could seriously, be Black Taurus too. While we're at it, you know what? Crazy Steve.
Ooh. You grow a couple feet and become Black Taurus. Yeah, no. Really quick.
Decay.
Yeah, you think Decay is going to take it?
Yeah, it's a given.
Yeah, I'm not going to even play around before I kick to Craig on that, but I do want to mention to your point, Max. I do like the idea of Decay expanding. I think, even though you're right about Abyss, he was in the latter part of his career, literally. I think to erase the idea of does Black Taurus and this Decay match up to the Abyss one is to add more, to expand. And I wouldn't mind seeing Ascension come in and be the tag team while Steve is in the X Division.
That'd be a good idea.
And Rosemary in the Knockouts. But Craig, what's your opinion on this? I see Eric Redbeard in there, which I really like. Because obviously the Wyatt family connection, Decay's a little wonky. So, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, I agree it's pretty much a given Decay's going to win this. I'd like to see Triple XL win it because I think they need something to... It's annoying with Triple XL because they're being talked about like they're one of the biggest tag teams and should be a dominant force, but they're not really being treated like one. They put with their entrance, they make the camera shake and all that.
Yeah,
it should be getting more for what they should be getting more than what they already have. It should be.
Yeah, but I think we've talked this to death, right?
Yeah, it's a whole thing for me.
What was their last rival? Actually, Triple XL. Their last
Atkins?
main rival.
It was Machine.
Johnny Bravo.
Sabin and Storm.
Well, before that.
Like actual program or just their match, like a match?
No, like that they were actually in a storyline with.
I mean, besides for the Wrestle House, I would say maybe the Rascals are the closest thing they've had to a program since they started. They haven't really found their footing, and Craig's right. But here's the thing, and I don't want to talk this to death because you could go look at all of our other episodes, but Triple XL is on that cusp. They're getting there. And for a tag team that had to feel each other out in real life, let alone in storyline, for two people just coming together that were solo, I think they did a good job of packaging these guys together. Now, I don't know if this is the turning point, no pun intended, to kind of go forward, and this is their statement win and they move on, but I just can't see Decay adding, unless the third member storyline is something that's revolving. Maybe, Torres came in, they don't win this, they kick him out. I don't know if that's the plan. I don't know what his, dedication to Impact is or his agreement there, but, see, Rosemary said there would be more demons. So there you go. Yeah. Very possible.
But
I think we're all on the decay front there.
Yeah, and I think they do need to expand too. I will agree with that. So, do we know exactly what current talent went to the tapings?
I have no idea. I don't keep track.
No, I think we know more of who didn't. But then I started seeing the list of who didn't. But then Cardona was there, so I don't really follow too much, unfortunately. Why? What's your thoughts here?
I was just thinking about Reno Scum for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to say I think I might have heard something, but I could be wrong.
Really?
I don't know. My timeline's crazy right now.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I wonder if they'll be, repackaged and make sense into that. Because, at the end of the day, Reno Scum hasn't got their full, and I haven't been a big fan. I've been honest about that. I think they have moved in the right direction. But maybe something like this where they give them a wash on the gimmick where it's slightly more to Decay side, I think that might do well for him. Instead of hiring an Ascension, who I do like as well, for this spot, but you don't have to pay new guys to come in. You just have the guys you already have and reward them for their work.
Or expand Violent by Design.
Oh yeah, I do like them. Yeah, interesting. Let's go with this one because I think it's kind of a not a thrown together match. We obviously saw it coming throughout the tournament and so on. But let's go Deanna Kimber and Susan versus Jazz, ODB, and Jordan Grace. Craig, you start off this one, bud. What's your feelings? Do you think it's a wash of a match or what?
I don't necessarily think it's necessary. great knockouts individually. As a team, great still, but does this match really need to be on this show? That's a TV match, in my opinion. I don't think it needs to be on this when it could go to something else. Or there's 9 matches on this card.
Yeah,
around 9. Yeah, 8's enough, in my opinion. So, but for a winner, I'm gonna have to go with Grace, Jazz, and ODB.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'll kick it to Ashley, but I do want to say this. I feel like these ones that are on the Impact Plus are more, I won't say TV, but they are kind of one-night onlys in the sense of they're just there as kind of or when we used to have like a Redemption, or not Redemption, excuse me. I can't remember the names, but like Destination X and all those on TV.
Like the TV pay-per-views.
TV pay-per-views. That's what these feel like more to me. When we actually pay and it's live, I think it's a bigger deal. But to your point, I understand. Ashley, where are we at with this?
I mean, I would agree with Craig as far as it should be a TV match, just allow the knockout some more time.
Yeah.
I would like, personally, I would like that. The only thing I would disagree with, I think Deonna, Kimber, and Susan are going to win it.
Okay.
I think they're going to, I think ODB, Jazz, and Jordine are probably going to maybe put them over a little bit more.
Yeah, that makes sense. The way they've been treating Jazz and ODB, which doesn't make them treating them poorly. It's just saying, hey, they're a vet and they job out.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
The anti-WWE.
That's a good point. Do you agree with her? Do you agree with Craig? Who do you think's taking this
one? It's interesting because originally, looking at the match, I agree that it should be a weekly main event to give it more time. And I think 8 matches on the card would be nice because it would give everybody else a little bit more time. But I do think, I don't know the order the matches are going to play in, but I think this could be a good match to follow either the X Division Championship or the Revolver. Something to where that match is going to be super fast-paced, super high impact, and then this will kind of slow everything down. So I think...
Whoever, if they get that, I feel bad.
I know, but unfortunately, it's either that or it's going to end up in the first 2 matches on the card when everyone's still trying to figure out how to sign into the Impact Plus app. So, those are the 2 options. But I do think Deonna, Kimber, and Susan are going to win it. I kind of agree with the. I think it's just going to continue to build up Deonna, and I think that the veterans are going to end up putting them over, just because I think that makes more sense outside of Jordan Grace winning to push for a title shot. But I think Deonna right now winning is the better option for her and her team.
Yeah, I don't know if Deonna's injured or what the deal is. It's a little muddy waters there when it comes to that predicting this, because I don't know, like you said, are they letting the veterans put over the younger talent? Deonna hasn't been wrestling that much. So are they just holding off her next title defense because of something? I don't know. Obviously, she had, unfortunately, I don't know if it was pre-taped, but her boyfriend had COVID. So I don't know where that falls into this as well. But I guess she wouldn't be walking around if she had COVID. But yeah, I got to go with Kimber, Susan, and Deonna, only for the simple fact that ODB literally came back last week? Or a week and a half. So it was a cool pop. I love her and Jazz being around. I'm not angry by veterans being there. I love Jordan, but I feel like Deonna needs something to build upon off. I know she already has the title, but I don't know. We'll see. I think this is one of the ones that I've been debating. And at the end of the day, we joke it and say, oh, it's fodder. It's going to, come behind the Revolver one. But who knows? It's actually the one that's going to surprise me. Let's continue with that. Let's continue with the knockouts. Let's go to Fire and Flava defending for the first time to Havoc and Nevaeh, right? Yeah, as title holders, defending those titles. Ashley,
and that would really suck if Fire and Flava lost, and it's their first defense.
Yeah.
Since it's no DQ.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I think I would say that they have the advantage.
Okay. Now,
so
Fire and
But
Flame.
it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be very slim.
Okay. But you think they'll retain?
Yeah, I think they'll retain just because it might be too soon.
Yeah. Max, what do you...
I was going to say, it's... So this isn't WWE who's going to introduce this bout, give it to somebody, and take it from them the very next day because they really want to put on somebody else. I trust Impact, and I do. I think it's too soon. I don't think they would bring these bouts back, go through the whole process of setting this up like we've talked about for a long time with these tag teams, only to give it to a champion and have them drop at their first defense. So I just think it makes too much sense for them to win. They're also a really good tag team together. Like they fit well together. They've got a good image. So I think they win it. I think this is their first defense of a long title run.
Yeah, I hope so. And you're right; they are marketable. They already have a name. They already have a following. They have merch. And as I said before, Havoc Neve are great, and they're building that. But they need a little bit of a push and rebranding, and I think that'll come at the end of this when I think Fire and Flava do beat them. And I forgot that it was a no DQ match, so that gives them an advantage in the sense of who knows who might join that team, who might help them. And as long as the Fire Fest, whatever the hell it was called, Fire and Flava Fest, doesn't happen again, I'm happy. So I hope they keep it. Craig, let's wrap that one up.
Yeah, I mean, Fire and Flava, these bouts are made for Fire and Flava. You know, and they have to retain. They can't lose them right now. But if talking
Don't they have an official on their side, storyline base?
They have Brandon Toll against them. That's what they're saying.
Oh,
okay. Against them. Okay.
Yeah. Interference-wise, I'm now popped into my head. Thea Trinidad, Zelina Vega, Rosita, whatever you want to call her, she interferes in the match. I've got this feeling.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Are we at the 90 days? Is she good to go?
Surely by now.
Let me look.
Yeah, let's look into that. And in the meantime, I'll hit up the chat really quick and mention that I'm seeing really cool stuff coming here in Fire and Flava being the Knockouts version of the North. I think that's really cool, man, because I think that's what they could be. And I don't want to discredit Havoc and Nevaeh. I think they have an opportunity if they get that moniker. Maybe not the Killer Death Machines or whatever they're going to be. 90 days is up. Thank you. Cool. So, okay. So, all right, Craig, Mr. Insider.
Apparently she was out on November 16th.
On
November 13th. WWE announced they had released her from her contract.
December. Wow.
That's way past.
No, it's 90 days exactly, right?
Well, November to December, December to January, January to February. Yeah, I mean it's close because you got some 31ers in there, but yeah, it's right around. It was them filming this might have been right at 90. Let's see.
All right. Well, if Craig, you're right, you could come on at 11 after this with our post show and brag to Max about how you called it. But I think we're all in agreement with the Fire and Flava thing. I think they're too marketable and too big of a already established commodity. I mean, I see it in here that about no new challengers for the Knockouts title, but let's say it in there. We have a big roster of Knockouts, but who is next for Fire and Flava? What is next? Are they going to keep facing this one team over and over? I just don't see that.
Tennille and Caleb with a K.
It is possible. I mean,
Eric Young was a Knockouts tag team champion.
I was going to bring that up too.
Yeah,
I'm terrified about that.
At least one of the partners has to be a knockout. That is the rule.
Maybe ODB's back. Maybe Eric and her rekindle their marriage. I don't know if they ever got legally divorced. Wasn't that,
like that.
So maybe he makes a run at the Knockouts title.
They keep making a lot of mentions of not old in the sense of age, but former Knockouts coming back. So maybe there's a couple new tag teams here, but they would have to be. Here's another thing I want you guys to give me your opinion. No description, no reason why. Just answer it with one word or the other. Are Fire and Flava, are they heels or faces? Max? All right, Ashley? Ashley, go first.
I consider them heels.
Okay. Craig?
Heels.
And Max?
Slightly.
I can't give a description of this?
Just say, no, we'll talk about it in a second. Just tell me what you think.
technically they're supposed to be heels.
Wow.
They're the New Day. When the New Day was heels, but they were over. Like, or Austin when he was a heel, but he was over. Like, that's what it is. DX, NWO, they're that type of heel, but everybody likes them.
I get you. The cool heel. Yeah. I just feel, besides for that thing in the ring that was horrible, I see them as faces. And I understand that they're getting away with it. They remind me of Los Guerreros when they were lie, cheat, and steal to keep the tag team titles.
That's heel shit, man.
Yeah, but with like a we're all in on it thing, you know? Yeah. Tweeners. Yeah, they can be tweeners, yeah. But I'd rather them go full-fledged, because the reason I bring this up is the audio, the boos and the whatever, they're not as bad as the Hogan era when they would pipe them in. But the boos and the cheers are really weird when they have Nevaeh and Havoc and Fire and Flava out there. And I don't know if that's Impact management not being able to decide they are tweeners. Maybe Havoc and Nevaeh snap here and go heel, which I think is better for them. Or hey, Los Guerreros reference. Or they're just not doing well with the audio, which is more likely an Impact thing.
I mean, it may be if you're tweeners, you're going to have some people boo you, some people cheer you, so maybe it's that.
Yeah, but you would just think they would push a narrative that the Impact creative. So we'll see. I guess if they sell merch, you want them to be in between there, and that's what they're doing. All right. So let's see. Let's get to this one, because this is not a forgot about match, but kind of put together a little loosely here. No real ties. We have Hernandez and Brian Myers, aka 90s Nick Fury, or Captain Ron, with versus Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona. I will mention this before I kick it off. I'll kick it off to Ashley. I don't know if she just went, but who cares? So go again. But I will say that Matt Cardona and EC3 have been exchanging a couple tweets as well, so I don't know if that plays into it. But Ashley, what are your thoughts?
She cares about this match as much as everybody else does.
I mean, okay. Myers is a great wrestler. You know, you almost forget how good he was, you know, or how good he is because of, you know, his time in WWE.
Right.
Hernandez, you know, veteran. Let's see, Eddie Edwards, Matt Cardona. I'm going to go with Eddie and Matt.
Taking it, faces taking it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them, honestly.
That makes it makes a lot of sense, especially with Hernandez being in it. Who I love Hernandez is making references to LAX coming back for one more run. So I hope he gets away from Myers, which I agree 1,000% with Ashley. Before I'll throw it to Max. Oh, hey, TNT on Twitter.
Craig fell over.
Welcome. Okay. It must be that Hernandez talk, LAX talk is exciting. But yeah, no, I see them. Yeah, Max, go.
What I was going to say, Craig just pointed out with Hernandez, with Selena Vega coming back. She could be in this. So,
well, we do need to mention that Ivelisse and Diamante are pretty much the fire and flame of AEW, and Diamante is the girlfriend of Kiera. So, yeah, I get what you're saying there. So I guess we could play it different ways with them as well, or Sarita. I hope she doesn't take the Sarita name, or Rosita. Excuse me, Rosita.
One of them.
Whatever, Ida they are. But, so just with Hernandez being in it, Hernandez has been, even though I love what he's been, which is that back kind of comedy / weird storyline with the money to keep things going, I think it's a foregone conclusion if he's in a match, he's generally losing. So, and Myers is too good of a squealish heel right now. That's the only thing really keeping him over in my eyes. Now, the wrestling, I 1,000% agree with Ashley. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. I think he could have his own run if they find the right thing for him. The blue and orange really wasn't in. I'm glad he went to the new look, but I think before I kick it off, do we see Matt and him getting back to wash it and try to find themselves?
I think you cut out there. Did you see them getting back together?
Yeah, just to see them get back together, if they should continue doing what they're doing.
Wasn't sure if it was my internet that cut out or a Skype issue. I was going to say that.
I think it's Skype. I heard it on my end too.
Cool. Just making sure it wasn't me. No, I was going to ask him and Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. They were a tag team like prior to Impact, like weren't they? Like they're actual friends in real life, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I mean,
They have a podcast.
okay. So I think it would make sense for them to get together. I mean, I really kind of feel like this match is the people at Impact were like, man, we need another match, and they just were like, these four were back there talking. They're like, you guys, we need you, get out there, like go get them. Like, I feel like maybe it's a setup for something. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers teaming up. Maybe it's a setup for Hernandez bringing back LAX and like doing something. But I feel like there has to be something else coming from this other than just what it is. Like maybe not. But I'll go with Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona just because. Yeah. But I feel like there has to be some other type of storyline purpose for this.
We could hope. We'll kick it to Craig, see what he thinks. One, should they be together? Two, do you care? And three, why is this match here? I personally think, just to put that, I think this match is here because it will follow the Revolver match. I think it's the right amount of names to be in a match to get people to be okay with the next match being a little bit of a lull. But Craig.
First, I love Matt Cardona. I'm so happy he's in Impact. Hope he sticks around a little bit longer. I'm such a big fan of always have been. Is that right? That's Matt Cardona. Always been a big fan. Myers has changed my opinion. Like, if you go back and watch old episodes of the podcast, you know how I felt about Brian Myers. But he's changed my opinion completely.
Right.
I don't know if this match should be happening right now. I don't think they should be involved in a feud right now. But if it's, I think these two teams can put on a match that's going to change a lot of people's opinions, hopefully, if it was just those two.
Right.
But I think Eddie and Cardona win.
Yeah, I think we're unanimous in that. But to your point, I agree with you there. I mean, it is kind of jumping the gun as far as having them fight each other. And that's the only reason I want them as a tag team. They don't have to win anything. I just want that blow off of the Rude Storm, the Harris Storm, everybody in Storm. I want that, and it would be nice to have that. It'd be good for both of them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. Tennille and Gabby Tuft. Oh, my God. Trying to read the chat. My eyes are
someone asked, does David Richards still wrestle? American Wolves would be a cool reunion.
Yeah, so I said this a couple times in the show, the other shows. I full-fledged believe we'll have a resurgence with American Wolves, AMW, LAX all together at once. I think it's going to be really cool.
So maybe hear me out. Maybe Matt Cardona and Brian Myers team up. Davey comes out to save Eddie, and Hernandez restarts LAX all in the same giant. Yeah, exactly. Just like, hey, everybody come on back. Homicide comes running out.
Why not?
Anarchia gets run over by a car on his way to the ring or something.
Matt Morgan holds both titles again. I hope the Winnipeg Connection behind Ashley is the next tag team.
That would be awesome.
All right, speaking of tag teams, let's keep it going. Let's go to the tag team one that we kind of mentioned off air, the Sabin Storm, Good Brothers Private Party. Thoughts, winners? Max, I haven't started with you. Well, actually, Craig, let's start with you, buddy. Before you,
I will put a full on Susan, throw my shoes if Private Party wins the match. I will be pissed. I'd love to see Beer Guns win it, but it's not going to happen. Good Brothers retain, and maybe at Slammiversary drop them to Machine Guns again.
I like that. Ashley, you're a machine gunner. Let's go to you. Do you hope that's the case?
I'm not too into Beer Guns. Let's be honest. I'm going to go with the Good Brothers retaining because we do have Rebellion coming up.
Yeah.
And once again, to the lovely people in Winnipeg, I would be nothing without the Canadian audience. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Good Brothers retaining.
Yeah, I agree with you. To your credit,
not
there,
fair, but
right. Yeah, I think
it won't be a clean win in my opinion.
Right. I think this is the gamble or the answer to who takes the pinfall. And if Private Party, who's an AEW team, takes it straight up, do they look like losers and do our guys look great? I don't know. I think Good Brothers take it still. The third team really helps that. Tell a story however you wish. I really hope it's not Private Party winning this. I think they've already got enough advantage over us, AEW. So, but to Ashley's to word over her right shoulder there, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers together are great, right? But they're better because they're all champions. So I think it makes sense for that purpose too. Max, wrap that one up for us.
So I actually like the addition of Saban and Storm because I think there was zero chance Private Party was beating the Good Brothers. It's just not going to happen. Like it would you and I have a better chance of being Impact Tag Team Champions than Private Party did tonight. They just weren't going to do it. So adding Saban and Storm at least gives you the possibility the Good Brothers may drop it. But I don't think they're going to because right now in their new Bullet Club, whatever they're calling themselves, Kenny Omega's a champion, the Good Brothers are a champion, and the Middle-Aged Bucks are the champions. So right now they're all champions. The only way I see them dropping it is if you watch AEW, the Good Brothers kind of got involved and cost the Middle-Aged Bucks their whole basically a shot to pick their champion, to pick their opponent. So there is a possibility the Bucks come in an attempt to help the Good Brothers cost them the titles and kind of draw a rift in there. But I think it's too early for that. And right now, I still think your rift is going to be when the other Bullet Club members show up. So I think they're going to need those guys to all stick together. So I think Good Brothers win it. You may see Kenny Omega and Don Callis make an appearance, but for the most part, they just win it with the awesome tag team finisher that is the Magic Killer.
Max's favorite tag
It really is.
So, I know. We have our tag team finisher, excuse me. We have 13 minutes, so we're going to get to the world heavyweight title there, or world title, excuse me, and then send you guys so you can figure out your Impact Plus logins and stuff and get ready, make your popcorn, do all that stuff. Max, let's go with you on this Tommy versus Rich thing. I'm sure you'll have a hot take on it. And then we'll all say who we think's going to win. And I see some mentions, if we can mention in there, as well as, I know we mentioned it last episode, but who takes that belt off Swan?
So the only way I want Tommy Dreamer winning this is if after he does, Raven comes running out and DDTs him and then tell him he's been sleeping with his wife for the last 10 years. Outside of that, I want Tommy Dreamer coming nowhere near this Rich Swann. This could be a 5-minute stomp for all I care. Whatever. So I think Rich Swann is winning this because I don't think Raven's coming out and challenging Tommy Dreamer afterwards, as cool as it would be. I think the person that has to take it off of him it's one of two people. It's either Kenny Omega or it's Moose. I think Moose taking it off of him makes more sense just because Moose, it allows Moose to basically have his, I'm the real champion. And I think, I still think Rich Swann may lose a one-on-one to Kenny Omega, which sets up Moose basically saying, you can't carry that belt. It needs to be me. I'm going to defend Impact.
Yeah, I like that. Ashley, your thoughts?
Long-term or currently tonight only?
Let's start with Dreamer and work our way from there.
Dreamer's going to lose it. I mean, he's going to lose the match. That's a given.
All right.
I'm just saying I don't really want him to win the match, even though it is, for his birthday. Right. So that's just I mean, I agree with Max on that. I don't think Dreamer's gonna win it, unfortunately.
Right. And then really quick, if someone were to face Swan next and win it, who does that look like to you? Or what does that look like to you?
Based on the time frame, it's going to be two different things. Either Omega's going to take it off Swan because it'll be very easy for him, or it's going to be a triple threat at Rebellion between Moose, Swan, and Omega.
I like that. I like that for just the Rebellion. There you go. The Rebellion purposes, just to have a great pay-per-view. But I really hope it's Omega, so he has the double champions. He'd be the first unified champion since Jericho, so that makes a lot of sense. And then Moose beats him. I really want Moose, but Craig, tell me your thoughts on Dreamer, and then after that, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on who's going to win this.
Yeah. So, Tommy Dreamer isn't going to win this match. I love Tommy Dreamer, but it's just not going to happen.
So we all agree.
Pretty much.
Nah, G's going to swerve us.
Exactly. So, but if in terms of who's going to win the belt, this is no disrespect to Rich Swann, but Moose beating Rich Swann doesn't have the same effect as Moose beating Kenny Omega. Moose beats Kenny Omega, he's a superstar. Yep. Moose beats Rich Swann, he's just beating Rich Swann. He's world champion finally, but if he beats Kenny Omega, it's a bigger deal. I don't want to see Kenny Omega as world champion. I don't see any AEW guys as champions in Impact. But if it needs to happen so Moose can be world champion, fine, but don't make it drag on.
Right. You don't want what's best for Impact. You don't want those dollars. You don't want them T-shirt sales.
What's dollars is AJ Styles coming back and just running through the whole division. That's dollars.
That's not going to happen anytime. Right now.
Next time AJ gets a title shot, it'll be his 50th birthday as well. So, it'll be a good time.
And he'll win because he's AJ Styles, and he'll be like, "I am phenomenal. I am the phenomenal one still."
I can go on a full rant about AEW. I can go on a full rant about them, but I won't. I could do an hour on it alone.
Pro wrestling, guys. No, you know what, the AEW thing, and I go back to the Invasion on this. I don't necessarily think that we need to keep switching title, like the prop of switching titles and devaluing the appreciation of that belt, I guess, isn't worth it. I think you could do a lot more creative ways than just have people pass around belts, but we'll see.
Well, long term, story wise. I think at the end, let's say it's not a triple threat match. Let's say Swann loses it to Omega, because that's a given. It's going to happen. Omega's going to hold the belt whether Craig likes it or not, and that's a fact.
Craig's just mad because he's the belt collector in the background there.
I'm just saying that's a fact, and I'm going to tell you that is what's going to happen.
Okay,
but what'll probably happen, since we're talking, long-term storytelling, is it'll be this whole story where Moose will try to get the Impact Championship back to Impact because he's Mr. Impact.
Right.
And it'll be a series of events until that time period when he actually gets it. So it'll be a long-term storyline.
Yeah, I like that.
Moose.
I think we're all in the same regards as the future holds. But as far as tonight, could I see Tommy Dreamer winning? And if you asked me this 2 days ago, no. It wasn't enough build-up. There's not enough tension. There's not enough interest.
So how much did you smoke over the last 2 days that made you think Tommy's going to win this thing?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
How much did you smoke that you can't hear what I'm saying? So
Scott's going to throw us a curveball and be like, you know what? I'm going to let Tommy win it.
No,
and then he's going to have to drop it.
Here's
and
what
everyone's
I say.
going to have to fight for it.
Well, it's not going to take much to beat Tommy Dreamer, but here's what I think will happen. I don't think at the end of the day he wins. Do I think he could? It's possible. It's Impact. And at the end of the day, that video package that they just put out of Tommy Dreamer and his history and stuff like that. Look, I follow Tommy Dreamer since day one. I guess I'm dating myself, but I've seen him in ECW, the original ECW, not this whatever.
The good ECW.
So I've liked him all through his career. The thing is he's 50 years old, and we kind of had, unfortunately, him shoved down our throats. And I don't want to say it in that way because that means it's a negative thing, but I think a lot of people have had enough of Tommy Dreamer in matches. Me, not so much. It's not that I think he's a 5-star wrestler or anything like that. I know he's 50. I know he's Tommy Dreamer. But he still is our Terry Funk. He's that guy who is the locker room leader, who's still going to go out for one more bang. Now, let's remember, though, and this is where this comes in the curveball, Terry Funk did win one at 50 years old. In ECW, he didn't hold it for long. I think it was 118 days, something like that. So it's possible. I don't think so. I will mention what I said in the chat room, which is every time Tommy Dreamer, for the most part, I believe, has won a title in ECW, especially, someone comes out and kicks his ass right after it, or a new foe debuts. I just hope that's not the case. Because, yes, unless it's Raven and he came back from a time machine, I'm good.
And
what I do hope here is that Rich
win the Noah Championship.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Well, I hope
I can't say much. I just covered Noah and Muda won the championship.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So
Exactly the same as Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Book. Yeah.
So I can't say anything.
Jericho's 160-year-old ass was AEW champion for how long?
Hey, you got to start with someone who has credibility. All right, guys. So we have 5 minutes left. We're going to let you guys do your thing. Thank you for joining us. If it's your first time, thank you to Ashley, our guest. If you haven't watched us before, we're on every Saturday night, 7:30 to 9 live. We do hot topics in the beginning, and then we do interaction and games in the second half. Follow us on here. Follow us on Twitter at TNAIW channel. And you could see everyone else's. Ashley's right below her. Craig, me, and Max. Everyone's Twitter accounts there. Enjoy the show. Come back and see us at 11 and see if we have the same thoughts as you guys did or if any of the shit we just said comes true. Enjoy the show, guys. I'll let everyone say goodbye or plug anything they want to. Ashley, you want to start? Do you have anything?
I mean, just go to my social media. You can go to my link tree. Make sure you live tweet every Tuesday night, Impact, and I'm around.
Oh, and Impact or Cult. Go see her first episode of that. We'll have another one at some point this month. Why don't we archive our shows? We do. Go to our YouTube channel at Talking Nonsense about Impact Wrestling. I think it's
Just
the whole thing.
scroll down, go click on the YouTube if you look down in the profile.
Oh, you got it? There you go. Yeah, add us. Yeah, Ashley does Impact the Cult once a month, a new thing where she kind of dives into her top 6 of things. Broken Beginnings was the first one. Craig, Mr. Impact Blog, what do you got for us, bud?
Pretty much the same. Just follow us here, follow us there, follow us everywhere. Yes, you can find me. I'm around on Twitter. You don't know by now, surely.
Do you want to do that?
Me and Craig work at the same place too,
Yeah, TWM News.
I also have my own website. Well, I'm the editor of an entertainment site. We're everywhere. Me and Craig are always around.
Me and Max are just sitting here.
Yeah, no. Follow me on Twitter if you want. I mostly talk football. Check out my OnlyFans. No, I'm just playing.
OnlyFans, only Max.
Hey,
I'm the only fan I have. But so,
all right, guys. We'll see you at 11. I don't know who'll be part of it, but we'll all be here in some form or fashion. Enjoy the show. Think about us. Let us know what you think after the show.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
People who aren't there right now and watching this on YouTube or this is just talking to myself. It's 4:00 in the morning for BST time there for Craig, and it's old man time here in the East, 11 o'clock for me. So we're going to go through this. If we don't have anything too much to say about each match, there's obviously stuff to say about ones further down. Some crazy shit going on tonight. And as I was talking to Max off camera, which you guys didn't probably see, it seems you saw a lot, heard a lot. This didn't feel like a one night only. This didn't feel like a cheap television pay-per-view. This felt real deal. I think there was, obviously some things here and there, but overall, it felt a little more mainstream, I guess I'd say.
No, I definitely agree. It felt like a pay-per-view as opposed to just, like you said, like a one night only or something or like one of those, what was it? What was the crappy thing that WWE did where they had Dean Ambrose wrestle Triple H? Was it Roadblock or something? It was before like WrestleMania. It was the same year we lived with you. The first year, they
Oh,
they did
yeah,
like some crappy like mini pay-per-view, but it was basically just like a house show that they broadcast where nothing
Okay,
happened.
gotcha.
This didn't feel like that. Everybody went hard.
Oh.
It was good. It was really well done.
Yeah, Craig, how you feeling about it as a whole? And then, you know,
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show. There's definitely some interesting points in there.
yeah, for sure.
A whole solid. It was. It's what you expect from Impact by now.
Right.
They're at a level and they never go below it. They're always above or on that level. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good as a whole. Sure.
I agree with you there. I think it's a very fair assessment. As far as the one thing that I do want to mention to the negative to start, I know we shouldn't start that way, but the one thing they got to get this app working correctly. I don't know if anyone else had the issue. Obviously, Max and I
Yep.
did. Our Johnny did. Our friend Johnny. Did you have any issues or no?
No, because I stream on Fight TV. It's
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
The app was apparently working, but their
Yeah.
website wasn't. But their app wasn't working either because
Mhm.
normally I watch on your account. I don't know if we should say that, but whatever. But I was signing up for my own account to watch tonight because normally we watch together. So, but I was signing up, and so I signed up through the app, and it wouldn't process any payment. And then when the website was finally working, and I tried to log into my account, I wasn't signed up. So I had to
Yeah.
re-sign up with the same email address and everything. It's like, oh yeah, here's your account, and then I was able to just purchase and go. So
Yeah.
there was definitely something going on, and it made me unfortunately miss the first match. So I'm gonna pretend like that first match was the greatest match of 2021
Well,
that I missed.
well, the first match was Tenille and Triple XL versus Decay, so you'd be lying. Twice.
I don't know that because I didn't see it.
It was okay. Decay won. The right team won. Caleb Decay was out there. I thought Tenille died at one point, but other than that, it was a solid opener. Anytime you get Rosemary and Steve and them down there, I think there's that instant attraction to it no matter what the match is. And I thought there was a really great spot with Tenille playing up to her influencer thing and having the red flag she was waving to get the Tarus to bite or whatever. I don't know. Interesting stuff. If you guys don't have much about it, with all due respect, we could kind of move on. I know we're all tired and willing to knock this out if we could, and no one's going to join us.
Yeah.
Our chat group is blowing up, by the way. If you're not part of it, please write us at TNAIWchannel.com. I think we have, or .com.
We ain't there yet.
Oh man, soon. Our TNAIW channel on Twitter. I think we have a couple spots left. It was going crazy the whole show, and it always makes it more fun. So thank you guys for doing that. But yeah, Max, you didn't really miss too much on that. Decay won, right person won. I'm guessing that's the end of this feud, and we can move on. Hopefully, Triple XL moves on to bigger and better things. Next up, surprisingly, was Eddie and Cardona versus Myers and Hernandez, and we were all wrong. We were all wrong in the outcome of this match. Myers and Hernandez took it. I don't want to say Ryder. Cardona put his buddy over. Myers with the win. He looked the part today. He's got that eye patch, and that's working for him. And he's an incredible wrestler. So thoughts on that? I know obviously you've come around on Myers, Craig, as we mentioned before, but what'd you think of this match?
Solid. Like I said, I'm a big Matt Cardona fan, and yeah, obviously wasn't that much to it,
Right.
but for what it was enjoyable. Maybe like with the 6 knockouts tag, shouldn't have been on that show. It's more of a TV feel, or maybe it's too soon. But big Cardona fan. Myers has changed my opinion on him. Eddie's great. Hernandez great.
Yeah.
Cool. Then. It's not
Yeah,
just work done.
pleasant surprise, just just something a fodder just to watch and enjoy and go on to the next thing. Max, your feelings on
It was
that?
a good match. It was enjoyable. I liked it. I found it funny that Hernandez and Eddie Edwards look like they just like showed up and wrestled in what they wore to the arena, but
Yeah.
Myers and Cardona had actual gear on. I was like, I feel like these
Yeah.
teams should be switched. It should be the guys dressed normal versus the guys with gear, but whatever. But no,
Yeah.
overall, I mean, once again, I was surprised as well with the ending, but I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, it's kind of one of those matches that if you're tuning in early to the pay per view, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that was definitely worth seeing. But if you showed up late, you're not like, oh man, I missed that one. So
Right.
it was a good pacing match. I thought it definitely thought it was solid.
Yeah, it got you maybe not hooked in, but it got you where you needed to be and set the tone for the night. It's cool to see some established stars.
Yeah.
I think all four of those guys are names in the business, and it's cool to see veterans that still have it and aren't coming by just to make a quick little feud and go. It can really represent well and come across great on TV. So I enjoyed that. Thought Myers and his Scotty Riggs eye patch, Jesus, is a cool touch. I hope he keeps it. I think it's something, we've been looking for something for Myers because he is a great wrestler, and the most professional wrestler gimmick is funny, but it's not really developed, so for him to add that, and then he's got like camouflage on, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but it's a cool look. I did make note of the camouflage for a purpose. I don't know if he's gonna be a good brother or not, but the colors are there, and the camo too. So I don't know if Big LG's is letting him in there. We'll maybe get the scoop.
I don't think
but
so.
I don't know. Moving on, speaking of camo, we had Diener versus Cousin Jake, which was a surprise for me for different reasons. Craig, you started that. I'll go to Max. Jake picking up the win here and looking good doing so.
Yeah, he looked really good. I thought it was a really good match. It was interesting. I mean, obviously I don't know the ages of everybody, but it was interesting to hear them talk about the fact that Diener is the older of the two. But I guess with his hair and everything so much shorter, he doesn't look like the older of the two. Like, I would have just assumed, just looking at him, that they were of similar age. So, I mean, I thought it was a really good match. I liked Jake's moveset. I thought it was good. I like that he uses the black hole slam. It's like a big person finisher. Down. So I like that. I thought that was really well done. I thought Diener had some really good moves. The drop kick in the corner, where he put his neck into the that was really well done. So overall, I thought it was a good match. I like the ending of it. I thought it was going to possibly turn with Jake joining them, but instead it just ended up with Jake getting, curb stomped and beat up and left for dead. So, but I mean, I think it sets up it's a really good feud setup for Jake and Violent by Design. So I think it definitely continues that storyline really well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Craig, what's your opinion on that as far as Jake something? Did he stand out by himself? Did you pop for him coming out to that look or what?
Yeah, I popped. Yes. Yeah. Jake something is a star. Cousin Jake was just part of a tag team. Didn't really do much. It's same moves, but as Jake something, they have more. They're more effective. As Jake something, same style, same moves, but Jake something a lot better. Happy with the result. Joe Doran looked like a beast with that power bomb from top. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought they did a good job of giving the win to a guy who needs it. If they're not going to make him part of the family. Give him the win, but then I even though it makes sense, I always hate the quick beatdowns after a win, especially on a pay-per-view. It just seems it just ruins the momentum of it. I get why it happens, and you need to change it up once in a while. But other than that, I thought it was solid. I understand what you're saying with Diener looking younger. I mean, he's been in the business 20 years. It looks good. I just don't. I think we shouldn't expect too much from the development of Diener. And that's no offense. He's a solid wrestler. He's a solid secondary character, and I think he works really well with that within that group as a lackey of EY and whatever comes of it. But obviously, out of the tag team, the star there is the younger cousin Jake, who is just a beast. And he looked it. They put him in the shorts. For me, who obviously on the show have said multiple times that I'd rather him start there and break away because at least he has some kind of foundation to build on. He just came out as Jake something, and I was fucking sold, to be honest with you. Just coming out, and sure, he's got things to work on, but you're right. To Max's thing, his moves did look powerful, and to Craig's, words, it's the same move set, but when he's by himself, they have more effect. And I know it's all fake. We get that. But just as in general, he looks like more of a beast in that Black Hole Slam, which I guess, I don't know if people would kick out of it in tag matches, but it would be definitely a transitional move that he would use. But to use it as a finisher now, I'm really stoked, or it seems that's what he's going to do. So yeah, kudos to him. I hope this is the beginning of something him. And what's up with the terrible towel, Max? Why do they got your?
I don't know,
Steelers
man.
towel?
I'm not really sure why he throws that out there.
That's terrible. It says VBD on it.
I mean,
and there was a Juju Smith.
Juju Schuster-Smith reference. I don't know who that guy is, but
still a bum. Whoever. I have a funny picture of him caked into the grass that I want to send you. Sorry, continue here. Right after this was Revolver X, is what we're gonna call it, and maybe they put those matches first because from this point forward, you obviously built up to these things, and that match did not disappoint. I was kind of nervous going in, but God dang it.
It was really well done.
Yeah. Great concept, great execution, great booking on it. And commentating. Let me mention that. I have that written down before I pass it to Craig because that's who's next up. But the commentating we said this a few weeks back. The X Division is going to is a team effort to get it back to where it needs to be. It's going to be management bringing some people, management developing some people, the commentators narrating and making it feel important, and then the wrestlers going out there and making it be so. We won't skip ahead to Rohit and them. That's something different, but this match and them commentating on it and making it feel prestigious and making it feel like Trey and Bay and Blake Christian for some reason are the future of this business.
He hit a springboard 450, so is the future of this business.
Oh, no. He is, but he's not a future of Impact.
So, if he keeps doing 450s, he should be.
We can all agree he should be, but he's signed by WWE. So
well, screw that guy. Never mind.
Yeah. So I'll just go to you, Craig, and I'll say my opinion on the winner later. But Craig, what'd you think?
Great. Maybe a few things I felt like could have worked on, but obviously it's a first time match. For what it was great. X Division showing off. I won't go into it too much, but too many flips for me in the beginning. Like they put all the flips into one 5-minute thing.
Spot, yeah. One sequence, yeah.
It was slightly frustrating, but I think they made the right call with the winner. And like you said, Stryker and D'Lo made it feel more important. It was already important with no more contendership on the line. But those two on commentary, even going back to the cousin Jake and Dina match, you shouldn't really care about this type of matches. A lot of people didn't, but they made you care.
Yeah.
It's good call. So I'm happy with the result of that match.
Very
happy.
Yeah, great storytelling.
Max, the match was great. I thought the order that people got eliminated in was fine. Obviously, Blake going out, and then Suicide and Daivari. Unfortunately, I still think it was Christopher Daniels under that mask, but he didn't win, so we never got to find out.
Well,
but
he went out first.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm saying, but those three going out all kind of went out, yeah. But everybody else that went out looked strong going out.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody like, oh, man, that guy got shit on. They all had their great moments. Josh winning, I thought, was amazing. I like what he brings to the X Division because he's different. It's similar to me and I'll say this, people are gonna be like, "What?" Like Samoa Joe, and the point that you have a bunch of guys doing flips, and he's just
Right.
bringing something different, but it still fits.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and I don't know if I should make the Joe reference, but I was gonna say Sonny Siaki, which is way back. But that guy who comes in and just disrupts what you think the X division should be, and I like that this match showcased. If it's a number one contendership match, we could argue all day who the right person to win is. I would have been happy with any of them, to be honest with you. Willie got lost. I'm going to say that. Willie still looks like in the shuffle. He just needs to find who Willie is. But the order was right. Besides for me, who was throwing out crazy ideas there, the right people went out in the right order. Suicide, Blake, Daivari. Nothing else there. Bay was next. Willie, then the final three were Josh, Trey, and Ace. And that speaks volumes to what the company thinks is the next big thing. It's these guys. And I saw in the chat room too, and I wanted to mention it. This is why, if done right, we don't need a secondary title, because what you should be doing if you are new to the company or younger and you're trying to make a name for yourself, you live and die in the X division, right? And then once you graduate, we'll say, and you want the next challenge, you should be going for the heavyweight. If you fail, you get a tag team partner and become a tag team wrestler. I love the idea of another title just because I love titles, or props, I guess. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that if they do this right, like they just did here, we might not need.
Yeah, I still think
else.
a secondary title would be nice for people like Rich, Willie, maybe people like that who just, I'm not saying are too big for the X division, but as you get older, like you said, the X division is a young man's game. So maybe you have guys that you don't want to put in that title picture, because you said it when you saw Kenny Omega stand next to Rich Swann. Rich looked small. But we've seen small people look big. AJ's small. Who's that midget?
I mean, as you become a grown adult, your metabolism changes and you're able to put on weight. And, I think that's what Trey's trying to do.
Rich Swann is a grown adult, but dude's not 12.
No, but those guys you're mentioning, when they
40.
bulked up, they were in their 30s. They were in their 30s.
Okay, Rich Swann's only 29, so okay, maybe not. So I mean, maybe he will bulk up, but like you said, I think he's past the X division. Yeah. But I still think a middle title would be good for people like him, Willie Mack. Maybe you have some people bounce. I just think it would be a good idea. But
I get what you're saying, but back to I see what you're saying, and I wouldn't mind it. It's just my point was, if they continue to book this the way they did tonight, we won't need one. Shout out to who hit the Gringo Killer. That was dope. And then he called it too, a little homicide reference there. I liked Stryker mentioning that. And then Trey.
I'm a little disappointed he didn't call it the Gringo Killer. He called it the Vertebreaker. Come on now.
He mentioned homicide though. And it's a really offensive term, so maybe he's just trying not to get canceled this week. But I mean, not offensive to me. I don't give a shit. But Trey, I got to give props to Trey. I know, Craig, who should have been the star of the Rascals, and at the time I might have agreed with you. But man, Trey came back with a purpose. He's pulling out moves that just not only are innovative, but make sense. And like in the idea of this, if this was real, what those moves do. You got a lot of guys who do a flip and then they land back on their feet and kick. Like that does nothing. The things Trey is doing is defensive offense. It's genius. I like where he's headed.
I'm saying somebody actually pointed that same thing out on Reddit. I was reading, and they mentioned that he does a good job of showing, like, using his weight in flips for offense. You also saw when he was trying to do like certain things, he wasn't like with Willie Mack, like he was showing, okay, I can't do certain things to him. So he did a really good job. I really liked him. I do wish he would do the reverse Kurt Angle though when he starts powering up, is put the rest of his outfit on, because he's got the pants. You can tell obviously there's a top part of that that's already off. Trey.
Ooh. Oh, gotcha. I was like,
yeah, so I want him like when he's like.
I was like, Josh has
no,
them on.
like no, I want
about.
Trey to put him on, like the reverse Kurt Angle. But I think it would look super weird. But yeah, I loved. Yeah, I thought he did great with his offense. It was really well done.
Yeah, and mention that we didn't mention the winner too much, but Josh is definitely. I'm nothing against Ethan. Obviously, the North are great. If they get back together and form whatever, I'm cool with that. But at the same time, Josh is he's stepping up.
He looked really good.
And I don't know if it's I don't know if it's stepping up as much as just being unleashed, but this dude's legit. And if anyone's the next Angle pull up, it's Josh there. So yeah, the women here get another shitty spot in the lineup. They got to follow this Fire and Flava and Nevaeh and Havoc. It was there. I'll let you guys speak on it, but I think this is one of those matches that we don't need to go too much into detail. It was a tornado tag, no DQ. The right team won. I thought they did a great job on commentary as well to own up to the fact that these teams, although been together for years, friends or whatever, they don't have that chemistry, that unit.
Yeah.
They don't have those moves together yet. They don't have, a playbook. And it's still developing. And Nevaeh and Havoc breaking up, or not breaking up, but at least having a little tiff there. Hopefully it's them going heel or something different. But they need some tag teams to face these women. And we'll see who brings. Max, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It was a good match. I think the putting it after the X Division was more in the fact that it's, like you said, it's a tornado tag, no disqualification. So it's going to kind of have its slower moments. It's going to kind of have its hectic. So I think it was a good match to put after there, because it wasn't going to be some like super technical where you're like, oh, it's just going to kind of be out there, which it was. It was a good match. Once again, right team won. They're definitely heels though, by the way. Fire and Flava, like
to each eye of the beholder, right?
I mean,
Craig, what do you got?
Yeah, solid match. It's kind of what you'd expect from both teams.
Yeah,
I do like the fact that I think minus Lish, every knockout had a match on this show.
Yeah, and she made an appearance, so every knockout was used.
Yeah, and that's more knockouts even better.
Su Young wasn't used, or Susie, but
that's true.
I do want to. Well, I'll wait till I mention that. But yeah, so I agree with you. Solid match. That's a great point. That a statistic that I didn't even think about, and that's something to talk about. Is that it's not like Impact is setting these women up to fail. They want them to succeed. That's a part of our bread and butter. That's what we've been known since the TNA days to now, our Knockouts division. So I think it's just a matter of bringing in these veterans to work with the younger kids so they can grow. And finally find all of it to put together, because they haven't been tag teams for 4 matches, or 5 matches, some of them. So that's the one thing I'll mention. But other than that, we can move on if you guys are okay with that. Next up, once again, following TJP and Rohit, man. I'm going to kick it right to Max, let you do your thing, let you say what you're going to say, and I'll just go if you guys don't hit it.
I really liked the match. I thought it was really well done. There were a lot of really close pinfalls, so it was a really close match. I thought that both these guys brought it, and I'm careful about saying this stuff because it could get old, but I could watch these guys go 3, 4, 5 more times without even getting like bored of it, like feeling like it's like, oh, the same thing. Like, oh man, like it's such a good match.
Yeah. Craig, your face didn't, I don't know, was that agreeance or surprise?
It was the opposite to Max. I think this match, even though it was good and they're both great, it struggled to keep my attention for too long because I've seen it several times.
That's fair.
Especially, it's Rohit won it, and then TJP's been on his entire picture ever since.
Yeah.
So it didn't really feel like he necessarily needed it.
Yeah.
I was getting a bit bored of it, so hopefully this is it, but I can't see it being the last.
So I think this is where the age difference comes in. And I see a lot of people agree with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it's maybe a right opinion. But for Max and I think we're used to building feuds and repetitive stories to these blood feuds that made you want to see it happen again. Now, I look back and you say, okay, maybe they're not on Daniel's AJ level or Joe and AJ or one of that combination. But I really felt like this did a great match of putting us back in the X division that wasn't the early days, but like that change in guard when it was like AJ and Petey. Like these two wrestlers that are, AJ's on his way out of it. In PG, oh my God.
Petey.
I was tired the first time. Yeah. Petey was a different style again and bringing more classic wrestling to the X division. Of course, he had the Canadian Destroyer, which
second greatest move in
wrestling. He wasn't all flips and stuff. And I commend them for that. This match was really good. I get your point, Craig, of being done with it. And if it's done, it's done. I'm not going to cry about it. But I like the fact that we now have an X Division title feud for TJ. Because I think TJ will keep this for a while, despite my want for people to go back and forth the belt. I hope he keeps it for a while to keep the legacy of it. But he is facing Josh, so I don't know, man. I'm a toss up with them. But as far as I just want to get over my notes with this, man. Shira, God bless him. He put him in a sleeper hold outside the ring. And then TJP must have been like, man, like choke me or something. And so he started moving him around. And stuff. I was like, God, Shira, man. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
It just needs to be like the full Nelson or something that you can just put somebody in and just go. It looks violent, but really isn't.
Oh man, I don't know.
This
to sum it up, this just felt like the X division of not old, but that next guard, and I'm excited for that because there was a lot of really good stuff in here, and I was happy with it. I was very happy with it. Next up was the 3-on-3, and when this started. When they all came out, I was like, crap, these girls are going to get screwed over again, have to follow this banging of a match. But let me tell you, this match was perfectly placed because just like the last women's one, which was a palate cleanser, this one was fun. It was entertaining. Once you saw Jazz and ODB get their entrances and Jordan as well, I just felt like, this is cool. I'm glad this happened. And it was a good put together match. Kimber showed up. I put a tweet about that because, man, people don't know. If you're not familiar with her work, you're going to be surprised by when they finally unleash her and package her away from Deanna, how good this woman is. So it was cool to see her get it. It was weird and exciting, or not weird, but it was a nice surprise to see, even though there was miscommunication, Jordan and Jazz and ODB winning, and Jazz being the one that got the victory. Wasn't with the Jazzercise. I was upset about that. But Craig, how'd you feel about this match?
Cool match in the place where it was. It felt right in the position it got. I mean, obviously, I know ODB wasn't like the most spry to begin with, but I don't know. It felt quite slow.
The match did?
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, knockouts are great, but this match felt slightly slow, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like they're not focusing on building a feud for the Knockouts title. They're just throwing people together for no apparent reason. I don't see where it fits into a Knockout title picture. Maybe I'm missing something, but
no, I was thinking that too, watching it, and I think there's a few different reasons. I think one, the AEW thing kind of snuck in, maybe, or happened more quickly than they thought it would, or maybe I'm wrong completely. But there was a lot of storylines that seemed kind of forced or jumbled or quicker than expected to happen. And yeah, I think you're right. Maybe they're holding off on a number one contender or something of that because there is something coming one way or another. Maybe it's older knockouts coming back or it's new ones coming in or AEW, whatever it may be. I agree with you there, but the focus tonight really wasn't, you're right, wasn't on the title itself. But if anything, continued more with Jazz and Jordan than it did with Deanna of any kind. But and the other thing I want to mention is Susan really quick. The reason I feel that they keep giving Sue these characters, besides that she's great at them, is maybe because, and I don't want to speculate, but Don had made a mention before of certain knockout having to step up her in-ring ability in her matches and stuff. And I'm not saying it's her, but I would say that a good way to cloak or hide Sue's inefficient, or maybe tweak her wrestling style and get to hone it a little bit, you put her in other things and characters that aren't supposed to be wrestlers. And you let her develop, get her bumps or whatever it may be, because we don't have house shows. We have nothing else. So I think there's something to that. And they only bring out Sue Young when they feel confident and she can win the title and go back and keep developing and stuff. All right. But Max, your thoughts on that match?
I thought it was a solid match. I was surprised by the outcome that the veterans won it, but I wasn't disappointed. Yeah. I mean, the right person ate the submission. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was a solid match. It was enjoyable. Obviously, wouldn't want to watch a 30-minute match of that, but it was for what it was. It was enjoyable, and it was a good palate cleanser to lead into the next match.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Palate cleanser being the key keywords there. And what was I gonna say? I had some. Wasn't important, but probably. Who do we think? Who could you even see as the number one contender to the Knockouts title right now?
Jordan, possibly.
Is Jordan built in?
Yeah, Jordan maybe for now. They probably need. I think they need like a 4-way or something to set a number one contender.
Greg, what were you gonna say, bud?
I was just saying for No Surrender, I thought maybe a match between Deanna and Jazz. Jazz wasn't going to win, but it would have been a nice little thing to show Jazz can still go, not just have to be relied on a tag team.
Yeah, I like
That'd
that. Be good. I like the idea, especially since she got the win. It seems like maybe at the next tapings she's going to eat the fall there against Deanna. But I think Deanna in a legend killer type story might work out well for what they're doing with her. All right. So we got two more. Excuse me. The tag titles. We had the Good Brothers versus the Beer Guns versus the Hung Bucks. Is that their name?
The Hung Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Stereotypes, right? Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with them. I want to get your guys' opinion on that, Max. What'd you think of them and everybody else?
I really liked this match. It was my favorite match of the night. Well, no, second favorite. X Division was my favorite match of the night. Yeah. So it was really good. I thought Private Party looked really, really good. I thought their tag team maneuvers were well done. I thought they looked on the same level as everybody in that match. I don't think they didn't look like, oh, these guys are a step down. So if by some random chance they stayed with Impact and wrestled there more often, I would definitely be happy with that. But as expected, the Good Brothers walked out winners. There was zero chance Private Party was winning this thing. But I thought the right team ate the pin as well. So
Storm, right?
I think it was, yes. Storm. But I mean, that was a team that needed to win. I was a little sad that there was no Chris Harris.
Well, we know Beer Guns
coming out or something.
It'll happen. But yeah, I think you're right. Beer Guns isn't really established. Yeah. They're just because of an injury. Craig, are you same sentiments?
Yeah. Well, mainly relieved that Private Party did not pick up the win. It
was close.
Yeah, when they said in a promo earlier that once they win the tag titles, they're going back to AEW and never coming back. Like that really pissed me off. I guess that's the point. But
Yeah.
I was really, really relieved. Part of me was rooting for Beer Guns because Storm and Sabin are two of my favorites.
Yeah. How cool is that, man? I mean, someone in the chat said that before. Just to hear the songs coming, you have Motor City, James Storm, Good Brothers, like 3 of the best theme songs in the world. Like boom, boom, boom. Like you're just like, what is, and then Private Party. No, I thought they, joking aside, I think they're pretty good, man. Gear, you put the gear aside, you could still tell they're rookies.
I like their gear.
Ways. You like their gear?
I thought it was solid. I mean, it wasn't anything super over the top. I thought it was decent. I liked it.
Made by Sangriento.
I mean, I liked it. I liked how it was flipped. One was black with pink. One was pink with black. I thought that was.
Oh,
I thought
clever.
that was good. I liked it. I thought
the fur was very AJ Robe piece of shit.
Hey man, I liked the way Private Party looked. Mad props to Private Party.
All right. Well, I like how they look in the ring, and that's all that mattered, I guess. They were they got a lot of talent. They'll put it together. I like them. But that's what I wanted to mention really quick. When it came to the X division, going back, I had a brain fart there. How good is it to see Brian Hebner back and to be feel like obviously he didn't want to leave. He got released. Let's be honest. They were cleaning house. They were cutting budget, and you could tell when he was announced his first match back, like he had a tear in his eye. I want more people like that, and now that we have Brandon Toll and him, it's a great official crew right now, and they make everything. They hold rules to matches. He went to go pin TJP in the first. He's like, dude, I didn't even ring the bell yet. Like you gotta be in a standing position.
That was really well done. That whole setup.
That was just nicely told story. So we're getting to that mark, and we don't really have too much left. So let's hit it up and get the hell out of here. Get some sleep. Last but not least is the let's say Good Brothers won. We thought it was the right team. The ending was a little weird. It looked a little. But I like the tap. That was clever. Swan versus Dreamer. Craig, I'll let you start.
I mean, obviously slow, but I guess what we really going to expect from that match?
Right, yeah.
Like, if you're expecting it, I think people, including myself sometimes, get caught up in the fact that it's not a 5-star classic.
Yeah.
Crap. But it told a story, and that Tommy Dreamer's from that era where storytelling is more important than how many flips you do, how many spots you do. So I liked it for what it was. Tommy Dreamer earned that and deserved that. Yeah. But right result.
Yeah. Max,
it was a good match. I mean, you and I talked about it a little bit. It got a little sloppy there at the end. But there were a couple of funny things. I mean, it told a good story. A highlight of the match was Moose coming in and just stomping everybody out. But I mean, overall, it was a good match. They went the whole dislocated finger thing. I thought was an interesting.
It was really good booking on that.
Yeah, good booking. I kind of feel like. That's something, yawn. That's something you play up against a heel who will then just stomp on the finger over and over again. Rich went at it.
And Rich did
use it a little bit, but I think not as much as maybe, Moose would have.
Right.
But no, overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, for those, and Craig, you're right, man. You don't always need these 5-star, bangers of matches. Sometimes you need that roller coaster of a night to enjoy something more or less, and every match does its part. And I thought it told a good story. Sometimes you need that, especially when, Rich needs a victory, defending that title, and he goes out there and has a classic that's not really his character right now. His character seems to be still proving that he's a champion. And beating a veteran like Tommy, I think that really kind of sets him on the path, maybe. But for what it was good. We saw Moose obviously, and that was great. Obviously, he's the next one in line to answer our question there. I think he still thinks, and I love that he would have been suspended had he been in the match at any point. But as soon as that bell rang, you know what I mean? Like, he snuck in there, and, it was really cool. Well, not as soon as the bell rang, but he snuck in there. So that was cool. And then last, before we go, New Japan deal. We've been talking about it for, it feels like a year now that it was going to happen. And it's here. It's officially here. Maybe not as big or with the biggest bang that we would, I want to say have hoped. I liked Finn and Juice, David Finlay, which is Fit Finlay's son. And then you have Juice Robinson, who was in NXT for a little bit, and them together is really good. Huh?
My stream cut out at the end. I didn't see the end.
Yeah, so it was, they showed like a New Japan thing, and New Japan logo, and then it was those two. And apparently they announced that they're going to be on Impact this Tuesday.
Oh, really? I missed that part.
Well, I just read on Reddit they announced it. So apparently now New Japan is working with everybody under the sun, except ROH. They're like, well, you got nothing we want from us. You got nothing we want. So
I think it's more so that Enzo bullshit kind of rubbed them the wrong way.
But I mean, let's be realistic. We're pro wrestling.
The Enzo's,
but there's nobody on ROH's roster outside of maybe like two guys that I'd be excited.
Positivity, Max. That's enough on a good note. Let's just say the New Japan thing is good for everybody. I think Enzo is ROH's Okada for us, which is, it's going to be that what you did and how you handled that is the deal breaker for our company going forward, or for their company's relationship going forward.
Okada's going to come back and overall, win the title, redeem himself.
Oh my God. Either way, it was a fun night. Once again, it felt much bigger than what these traditionally feel like. It was well produced, and maybe that's Josh in his new position, but I thought it was a great job. I'm excited for what's to come, especially now that I know Tuesday that they'll be there. Wonder who they'll be facing. Who could they? Either way, it's gonna be a great match. I don't know if you guys seen their. No, I think Private Party's done.
I hope they stay. I like them.
Well, we'll see. But anyways, it was fun, guys. Thanks for watching on YouTube, I'm guessing, because no one's here.
We have two people.
I can see. Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
3.
But late night, tired. I'm peacing out. Max, Craig, you got anything?
Nope. It was a fun.
Nah.
It was a fun night. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than. I think we were expecting initially. We were kind of concerned that it was just going to be a thrown together house show that was on TV, and it wasn't.
Yeah, so I'm very happy with that. Max is going to throw it to the commercial that we made, a hashtag Save Our Tunnels. It's our most viewed thing ever. I think it hit 2,000 views, which is pretty cool. So we're going to put it out there, and we're going to say goodbye. Once again, every Saturday, 7:30 to 9, us three are there, some guests in between. Come join us. It was a pleasure. See you next time, guys.
Later, guys.
Hi, I'm Geoff from the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling channel. If you're anything like me, each and every Tuesday on Access TV, 8 p.m. Eastern, you watch Impact Wrestling with great excitement. And yet, a little trepidation. Although we have risen like a phoenix, there is one void that remains to be filled. Lucky for us, you can help me solve our problem. You can fill my void. By joining our efforts and donating as little as 99 cents, the Sabat Foundation will continue the charge in securing what is rightfully ours. With more information on this, we throw it to Craig.
Thanks, Geoff. A war is upon us, ladies and gents, and if you too would like to be on the good side of history, we implore you to donate now. Head on over to GoFundMe and simply search Get Our Tunnels Back from AEW to do your part. every last penny of profit will be, with complete transparency, offered to Mr. Khan in the hopes of retrieving these hostages. As a thank you, for every $5 you donate, you will receive a raffle ticket that holds a chance to win a limited #SalUsBackOurTunnels t-shirt.
So what are you waiting for? Go to GoFundMe.com/F/Sabat now. These tunnels cannot speak for themselves. These tunnels cannot cross the line on their own. Help us bring them home. Help us make an impact. Donate in the next 20 minutes and receive a big thank you from the TNAIW crew. All profits will be offered to Tony Khan and AEW in full. If the offer is not accepted or Impact doesn't go away, proceeds will be given and spread amongst other content creators of Impact that we enjoy. Thank you.